Okay, we got a new one, and it is Citizen Sleeper. The first one. I've played through it once, but the second one came out, so we need to give this one a go before we can dive into the second one. And for this one, I'm going to play an extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. And this perk right here, that's what's up. That will come in handy. So we get a +1 to endure and a -1 to intuit. So we will not be approaching problems with any sort of awareness. Let's get going. That part is always so loud. Where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking. When yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real. To be a person. To be in a body that was indisputably yours. I'm gonna forget it. You resist nostalgia. It is pointless, especially now. This is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another, smaller, colder, lifeless. Reach out. You almost laugh, or you would if there was room or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful. Not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Remember now. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It's been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again. To nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. We rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh boy, okay, here we go. Dragos. Okay, amazing. Forgot how cool he is. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. What do we want to do for his voice? So, Sleeper? No, we're not doing that. So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus. Shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. We're going to stay silent. I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms. The cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect that property, but if they can't keep a hold of you, well then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. But nod. All right. You head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a rustling hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location, rest, and end the cycle now. Okay. Let's go ahead and end it. You wake, curled up in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its The message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? We're gonna go with building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Holy shit, 2 6s? Okay. Wow, what a start. Tutorial condition represents the current state of your artificial body. Depletes 1 segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, roll your action dice. These can be used to perform actions. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the cycle. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. This guy right here. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to go. Find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. That is brutal. So brutal. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you closed up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? I'm okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. All right, then. He nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we'll pull out some tech, something with a bit more value. But most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well, he trails off. The things being the way that they are, for me at the yard. He pauses. I need the help. Happy to. Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you are feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Oh, God. Okay, actions are the primary way you interact with the world. Citizen Sleeper. Perform an action, click and drag your action dice onto the dice slot. So this is risky, safe, positive. Action goes better than expected. Neutral. Action succeeds. Negative. Action fails. Okay. All your actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcomes. Okay. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. 6s are 100% chance positive, which is crazy. That's why it was so nuts that we got that. 5s are 50% positive, 50 neutral. 3 and 4, 25 positive, 50 neutral, 25 negative. 1 and 2, 50 neutral, 50 negative. In other words, dog shit. Actions display information about their type, risk, and skill, and modifiers that apply to that action. So it's a repeatable action, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk factors, or I guess they're, safe, risky, dangerous. Safe, no loss of condition. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. Brutal. Skill. The skill that this action requires. Either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. That'll be these guys right here. Modifier. Either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay. This is safe. So... Oh, plus we get a +1 to it. So it makes it a 3, but it's safe, which doesn't say safe means there's no condition loss, I thought. Fuck it, let's do it. Hey, nice, 10 cryo. Actions often progress the clocks. So nice, we got 1, what would that be? 2, 3, 4, 1/8 of it done. Clocks are displayed below the actions. They track our actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Okay. Well, these affect each other, don't they? I think so. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay, deal. So we could do another one, but I don't think we're going to. We're going to leave. One is... Because it was what? Oh, shit. Drives and navigation. You'll unlock drives. Drives guide you in pursuing... So it's like a quest tracker. Place a yellow marker on locations to help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu. Okay. Free to explore Erlin's Eye. Make a life for yourself here. Look for food to keep your energy up. And a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Deal. That was what? It was the same amount, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay. So I'm assuming if we get this, which we have to help Dragos out. He's hooking us up. If we get this done, before this gets done, I'm assuming, that's good. Okay, Doc C4, repeatable action. Okay, yeah, the bright market. We need food. I don't know about this. I mean, we could spend a neutral. I mean, we could do this. Let's do it. Why wander when there are hundreds of people that live and work within Bright Market? All you need is the courage to approach them. Oh, nice, dude. Hell yes. You end up at a drink stall debating the finer points of the Solheim collapse. You try to remember all the tips your companions offer you. Critical action. Okay. So we filled up the local knowledge, which is nice. And now we opened up Sabine, who is the doctor, and Emphas, who does the street vending. So let's try to get some food. This is Emphas. He's cool as hell. An imposing street food vendor. Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red fleck dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it into plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Let's approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made up of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle up to the front. Emphas speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up.
First try's free.
Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare.
I know you sleepers,
Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear.
A hard life, a lot of stories.
He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes.
I know.
Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility in its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you trail off, running out of words. Oh, tail off. I think it's supposed to be trail. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand.
Next time we can talk some more.
He smiles.
But next time, you pay.
He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades.
Next time then, sleeper.
He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Damn, full energy, baby. All right. Art exchange? Nah, I don't think we're gonna do that. That's like gambling, I'm assuming. Fungus fan. So we only gotta do that 4 times, and then we'll kind of get tight with him. Okay, we could go to Sabine, which I feel like we just should. Okay.
Next,
comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hat block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Let's look at the Enforcer. The Enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense, input, or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The Enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the door. The room beyond is bathed in a warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and, for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. "Come, sit," calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away. Replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed, you make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Oh, the song rules so hard. This might be one of my favorites off the soundtrack. "Please sit." They gesture to the bed, and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns. A compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on this station?" they ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. "It's good you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. "SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNARP remains the sole producer of." They look up. "Sound familiar?" "How do you know this?" They shift in their seat. "You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered." You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. "Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status." They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. "I know little of this is of use to you." They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. "I may be able to help." They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. "You saw Toshiro outside." You nod. "He works for my benefactor, Yadigan. They're influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds." They look away. "But Yadigan has his connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay, so now we gotta drive here. And after three cycles, we should be able to get a stabilizer. Passage into the low end gate, 60 cryo. We cannot afford that. Okay. Dock B. Takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt and return, loaded with scrap from the old racks. Okay, can't do shit there. Helion crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion system are rare, but those that do always return, eventually. Okay, the rotunda. I do not think we should... Actually, we have a 6-star. Steal the dock plans. Danger. We should do it, I think. 6-star, 100% positive? Dude. Haven Age security has to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place, and the most dangerous. 100% positive, though. Oh, dude. Doesn't mean... Getting to know the Rotunda doesn't just mean new places to visit. It means keeping your eye on new arrivals, too. Wow. Nailed it. Cool. Oh, there's a bar. There's a sealed dock. Unlock maglock. These old maglocks look like they each need an encrypted key to open. Why the heavy security for a decaying dock? It's a great question. Overlook. Get a drink. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink fermented along the greenway seems like a good test. I don't think we should do that. Buy rations. Who asked why the Overlook doesn't serve food? We could get a drink. I think we should save up for food. What do we got here? Ankita. Hey, you! Want to earn a chit? Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied-together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Make it 2. Ankita laughs. This goddamn station. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. All right, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Or is it just that you all think I'm an easy mark? We all need to survive. Ankita softens. I get it. I do. She shakes her head. But if I could just go 1 cycle without some jumped-up grifter trying to take me for an idiot, then that would be nice. Ankita hoists 1 bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on, then. Enough chat. You gotta earn those chits. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. And she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. What's all this for? Oh, this? She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a treehouse. She gives you another one of her looks. It's for the ambergris. That cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there? She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got it cut up pretty bad on our last job, and I had to moor up for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mine, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours? For a moment, you aren't sure if she's serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris outer lock and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple chids. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. All right, get out of here, she calls back, and the lock slams shut. Well, she's nice. We got a new drive. That's cool. Survive, repay Dragos, get to know Emphas, fix the ambergris. Maybe we can... Oh. Rewired drones, okay. Amber hull repairs. Let's just take one other peek around here. The ore exchange? Ooh. Our last one. We could try. Can we help Dragos out anymore? Oh, dissection. Risky. It's a 5, right? %, positive. Oh no, dude. I do kind of want to help him. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. God, I wish we could save this dice. Okay, what's this? Shipyard? The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work there. Oh, God. We could, I do like Ankita. We could help. Grounded. The ambergris is in a delicate condition, and I'll be to push it over into a... Fuck, dude, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to spend this on. Let's help Dragos. He's cool. He's helping us out. Manual salvage. Hold this section. I wonder if it matters. Like, risky, safe, 100% positive. Whatever, we'll do it. Ah, shit, I don't know, dude. No, we're doing this one. I know it's dumb. It's 100% positive. We're good. I give us 3. Do you get more? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, maybe you get more for risky things. I didn't realize that was... I wish there was a way to check. I wish you could see the rules again. Maybe you can. Options. Music level. Okay. Alright, well, we got hella energy, so let's see what happens. I didn't realize we could do this already. The longer you stay, the better. Endure. Wait, okay. So if we get like shitty dice, we can do this tomorrow then. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting, skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you. Things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Damn, 2 5s? Holy shit. That's crazy. Okay. See, we get a +1 for that. Neutral, negative. It doesn't seem... I don't know. Huh. No, we're not gonna do it. But either way, that is episode 1. If you want more, you can subscribe. You can like the video. You can write a physical note, put it on your desk. Yeah. Come back and hang. Episode 2 will be out shortly. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all.